Good morning, students. We are reading chapter 14 in science, and today our topic is how does fertilization take place in case of human beings. So, what is fertilization? Mixing together of sperm and ovum, that is male and female gamete is called fertilization. So, fertilization takes place in the initial part of the oviduct. We have seen the part of female part, that is oviduct. Oviduct, just see oviduct. So ovary produces egg, and at the same site the sperm also come and join to fertilize the egg. So uh, when sperm and ovum, that is male and female gametes, fuse, their fusion and a fusion of the sperm and egg is called fertilization. Since it takes place inside the body of the female, it is an internal fertilization. In case of human beings, and the fertilization is internal, and it takes place inside the body of the female. During this process, the nuclei of the sperm and egg fuse to form a single nucleus. So the full a single cell with a full nucleus is produced. That is 50% of the nucleus is contributed by the sperm, and 50% of the nucleus is contributed by the ovum. Okay, that is from father and mother, and a contribution has taken place to form a single cell baby. The resultant single cell formed after fertilization is called the zygote. Okay, and that single cell baby is called the zygote. The zygote contains the nuclear part of the sperm. The zygote contains the nuclear part of the sperm from the father and end of the egg from the mother. It is for this reason that child has some characteristics of the father and some characteristics of the mother. तो जाइगोट में क्या हुआ, किसका किसका लक्षण दिखाई देगा? जाइगोट विल शो द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ बोथ द फादर, मेल एंड द फीमेल, दैट इज द फादर एंड द mother. Why? Because the sperm is contributed sperm which is the male gamete, and ovum which is the female gamete. So they have come from different persons. The one is male, other is female, and that is why the zygote shows both the characters. Okay, try to find out why siblings, brothers and sisters have some common characters. So siblings yani brothers and sisters of the same parent, they have got common character because 50% has come from both the male and the female, that is father and the mother. Now come to development of the embryo. So zygote is produced. Zygote is a single cell that has to be developed, that has to be become a multicellular organism, and then finally the baby will be produced. So zygote will now take the shape of a newborn baby. तो baby development कैसा होगा? Development of the embryo. देखो, the zygote immediately divides into two cells, है ना? These cells then divide again and again. So zygote divides into two cells. Those cells again divide. Cell division takes place, and making a multicellular organism over the next couple of days. And the resulting cluster of cells make its way to the uterus or womb. जैसा ही single cell zygote है ना बढ़ते जाएगा, है ना, the number of cells will increase, है ना, then it is called the embryo. So embryo now finds a place, suitable place for its full growth, है ना, and that place is called the uterus or the womb. Okay, uterus of the so the embryo finally gets attached to the uterus of the mother. This cluster of cells is called the embryo. So the zygote has now changed into embryo, and it has taken place a permanent site in the mother's womb, which is called the uterus. Okay, uterus, the embryo fully develops. The embryo plants itself in the lining of the uterus and continues dividing its cells to make the billions of new cells. And at the uterus, the site of development, the embryo fully grows, and embryo grow and showing all the body organs. It gradually develops the different body parts such as the head, eyes, hand, legs, etc. And also at the uterus, the baby starts growing and taking food and other materials from the blood of the mother. Okay. When the embryo reaches the stage where all its body parts can be identified, it is called the fetus. So when the embryo gets fully developed, then it is called fetus. A fetus has all the body parts, all the organs of our body. The fetus when born is called an infant, and the fetus takes birth After 9 months of time, then a baby is produced or an infant is born. Okay. So how does fertilization takes place? This is the sperm from the male and this is the ovum. They will come together at the oviduct and fertilization will take place. Due to fertilization, mixing of the 50% nuclei, 50% nucleus is contributed by both the eggs, the nuclei in the zygote. So single cell baby zygote is produced and these nuclei fuse together to form a single nucleus. So a cell has a nucleus and cytoplasm. So this is the single cell baby is formed. This is called the zygote. This is called the zygote, the process of fertilization. Okay. Now come to how do hens lay egg. How do hens lay egg? In hen, the fertilization internal as it takes place inside the body of the female. Okay, that is hen. But unlike human, the development of the young one takes place outside the body of the female bird. So in case of hens, the fertilization is internal. Okay, that is the mixing of sperm and ovum takes place in the body of the female, and development takes place outside and the female body. It comes out that zygote comes out as an egg, or it remains inside an egg. This is therefore an example of internal fertilization and external development. In case of hen, after fertilization, the zygote starts dividing and moves down the oviduct. Okay, so after formation of zygote, fertilization internal to ho gaya, and after that zygote will will come out in the form of egg. So the zygote starts dividing and moves down the oviduct. As it moves down, a number of protective layers get formed around it. So जैसे ही जाइगोट डेवलप होगा उसके साथ साथ क्या प्रोटेक्टिव लेयर भी बनेगा जिससे एग क्या डेवलप होगा. The egg cell is one of these protective layers. So finally हम सब क्या white cell of the egg, and that is the finally protective layer that is formed. It is developed around the egg in the lower part of the oviduct when the hen just uh, oviduct of the hen just before the egg is laid. So that calcareous layer, white layer is made up of calcite and calcium carbonate. So that is a tough layer which protects the zygote inside. The lower part of the oviduct of the hen just before the egg is laid. The egg cell is made up of calcite. देखो calcite is what? Calcium carbonate. Uh, a crystalline form of calcium carbonate. The embryo develops inside the egg for around 21 days. Embryo develops inside the egg for how many days? Around 21 days. And after laying the egg outside, that is called the incubation period. So after laying the egg has to be and egg has to be hatched for kept warm for 21 days. And that period of 21 days is called the incubation period, after which the chick gets fully developed. Okay, so the zygote which was there inside the egg, and after 21 days it will take the form of a baby and a fully developed chick. During the incubation period, the eggs require specific temperature. Incubation period means period of heat treatment. So the eggs require specific temperature. This is provided by the hen and by sitting on the eggs. So the hen remains seated for 21 days and to provide suitable temperature so that the chick gets fully developed. Sometimes this is done artificially by keeping the eggs in an incubator. In an incubator is a machine, artificial method of artificial method of giving heat treatment, that is called incubator. Finally the egg cell breaks down and the chick comes out. उसके बाद क्या हो जाएगा? Chick will start moving, so the egg cell will break down and that baby will come out. So this process is called hatching. So giving heat treatment for 21 days and finally coming out of the chick is called the hatching. What is hatching? The period of providing heat treatment or the period of incubation, and in which the chick fully gets developed and comes out is called the hatching. Okay, now come to viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, so let us do it in our next video.